Hello, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough, and we're back at it again with another commentary. This time we're going to be looking at 3 more sitcoms. I originally planned on doing these as separate reviews, but I noticed that Hats Off Entertainment already did really good in-depth reviews of the shows as a whole, so I figured that, kind of like what I did with that 80s show and some of my other sitcom videos, like Baby Bob and stuff like that, that I should just do these as one big commentary. And in this case, we're looking at 3 different shows that came out after Seinfeld that star big names from Seinfeld. We have The Michael Richards Show, which was supposed to be the starring vehicle for Michael Richards, aka Kramer. We have Bob Patterson, which was supposed to be the starring vehicle for Jason Alexander, aka George Costanza. And lastly, there's Watching Ellie, which was the starring vehicle for Julia Louis-Dreyfus, aka Elaine. Now, a lot of these people did things after Seinfeld. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I think, actually had the most success, because after Watching Ellie, she had that new Christine show that actually lasted a decent amount of time, and I did watch it a little, and I liked it. I thought it was a perfectly fine show. Jason Alexander was in a couple of movies in the early 2000s, and he also did a bunch of TV appearances. And as far as I can tell, he took the central plot from Bob Patterson, which is about a self-help guru who's not really good at his job. He took that and reworked it into a stage performance a couple of times. And as for the Michael Richards Show, I find it interesting that, going off of the description, that it's supposed to be a show about him playing a detective character who goes undercover and plays various different exaggerated personalities and alter egos. I do find it interesting that, for a while, Michael Richards was actually offered the role of Monk on the show of the same name, but he turned it down. And that show went on to be very successful. I did read up on how many episodes these shows got. Watching Ellie lasted the longest. It got 2 seasons. It went from 2002 to 2003. Michael Richards' show went for about 8 episodes, I believe. And Bob Patterson went on for at least... Well, I remember reading that they made 10 episodes, but they only aired 5. Let's watch Michael Richards Show, then Bob Patterson, and then Watching Ellie.
This is gonna be a big waste of time. She's not cheating on me, I can tell you that right now.
So why did you call?
I told my brother that I would. You see, he warned me about
Meat
my
Canyon.
first wife.
It looks like Meat Canyon. Oh my god, this is like a... Is this the Bill Nye the Science Guy intro? What the hell was that?
You left the hot plate on.
I'm making soup.
Someone's gonna put their arm on that. You know what kind of burn that is?
Now a pot is on it, okay?
That's a 3rd-degree burn. That's the worst kind of burn there is. That makes you the worst co-worker there is.
Yeah, that's great logic, Jack.
Man, I just can't wait to get so attached to these oh-so-interesting and unique characters. They have such great chemistry. I just can't wait to see what wacky banter comes off with all these guys.
Having any luck with the deadbeat dad?
Oh, I thought you said Debbie's dad.
Oh my god, really? That is like... That's like ABC Family sitcom joke right there. Deadbeat dad? I thought you meant Debbie's dad.
Damn this friggin' job.
Oh, Danny Glover, you're too old for this stuff.
What the hell are you looking at?
I guess we're done with that scene.
Joey?
Oh my god, dude. This is gonna be one of those shows where it's just gonna be a lot of characters just standing around in one location when they could easily be anywhere else.
Goodbye, Jack.
Like, you know how in other shows it's like, oh, why is everyone just hanging out at the bar in Cheers? But it's like, there was at least somewhat of a reason why. Here it's like, oh, they're at the office and they're just kind of BSing around because just a couple of wacky cats with some crazy banter going on.
So, what do you do for fun, baby?
I don't think this is an approach that would work for me.
That's okay, baby.
See, now that's interesting. Aaron, remember that thing you showed me? Try that on Stacy.
No. That definitely wouldn't
Okay,
work
this
on
entire show so far is
If
just
you
more
say,
awkward
no,
than
thank
funny.
you, I already have a drink.
And you can make
And look at his
jokes
mouth.
about weird, creepy, uncomfortable stuff like that work if that's supposed to be like the point of it.
You don't get
But this
anything
is
from
supposed to
that?
be like NBC, you know,
Aaron, we'll
Saturday
ask you,
night
right?
sitcom.
Well, no spring chicken, but like a well-seasoned chicken, I get better with age.
Oh, kind of like how Kramer was a turkey.
What,
But
am I disgusting to you?
No.
Well, then we're agreed. I'm a very handsome man.
Well, yeah, Vic. But
now I'm just thinking of the episodes where, like,
Well,
the one where Kramer's smoking too much and it messes up his face.
Well, I like to get a little mass, you know, a little definition.
And what if I told you that I could put together a program that would guarantee results in 3 weeks?
Ooh, I'd have to tell you, I don't have that kind of time.
How much time do you have?
Well, if I don't take a shower, I could leave as late as 7:30.
And now we're done with that scene. My God, like, could they even bother to have, like, a little bit more? Like, scenes either go way too slow or way too fast in this show. Oh my God. As soon as I saw the green jacket, I thought it was going to be the Turtle Club from Master of Disguise. In fact, that's what the plot of this show pretty much was. He plays different personalities in every episode to, like, go undercover. It's like, it's pretty much Master of Disguise, but instead of Dana Carvey, you got Cosmo Kramer.
Oh, that's quite a story. Hi, I'm Roland. I'm a golf pro.
Hello, I'm Dr. Von Nordstrom from the clinic.
Engaged. It's all right. Looks harmless enough.
Yeah, let me buy you a drink, huh? Bartender. Bartender!
Oh, I get it. He's stiff from the workout, so that's gonna hinder him throughout the date.
Oh, like Herbie Hancock.
Up, smoking a pipe. Up, another Kramer staple. Smoking a pipe. Yep, there we go. There's the Kramer physical comedy, bumping into things, flailing around, almost falling over.
Listen, I'm a little tired. I really want to go now.
Not as tired as you're gonna be.
Wait, ow!
Don't you be coy with me.
Wait. I wanted her checked out, not violated.
Down.
No, who is this guy? I'm gonna kill him.
Hey, let's not forget your fiance's role in this, all right?
My angel is violated.
Oh, the joke is that he's wondering who it is, and he's sitting right across from him. Oh, the wacky. All that's missing is the Three's Company theme behind it.
See, I know he knows the Tai Chi Chuan. Ooh, maybe they have a website.
Check under Bozo.
Man, I wish I'd kept up with that.
B-O-Z-O? No, that was a George subplot. That one doesn't work.
Well, I finished my gelato, and my head began to hurt.
Luckily, your friend just had his first ice cream headache. Those aspirin should do the trick.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Doc.
Was that the Ass Man?
Jeez.
The reoccurring doctor from Seinfeld? Oh my God.
The guy that beat you up, his name is Arthur Golgi, and the reason that he beat you up, he had a whole...
Arthur Golgi. I should have known.
What, you slept with his fiancée too?
No, his kid's in my gym class. I like to chuck stuff at him. Kind of helps me get my aggressions out.
Well, there you go.
Wow, Mitch, thanks for coming in.
All right, everything just wraps up neatly as possible.
What?
You asked me if I slept with his fiancée, too.
I did?
I got beat up because of you, man?
Hey.
I got beat up because you sealed the deal, man?
Hey.
Huh?
I'm not even here.
Come on, man. Let's do it. Let's come on.
Lucky you got your arms out to break that fall.
Yeah.
They had access to a hospital set, and damn it, they were going to use it as much as possible in this first episode.
Oh, yes.
Whoa, no.
You dare be coy with me.
Please. No.
This is the joke we're going out on? Wasn't expecting this way to end. Okay.
Thousands of people just like you have already reached the top using techniques they've learned at Bob Patterson's seminars.
Oh my God. His beard.
Yes, Bob Patterson, America's #3 best-selling self-help guru.
The guy from The Burning, and also the McDLT commercial.
Would you look at the two of us together? It's like John Tesh took his nephew to the beach.
Fine. If it bothers you, I'll talk to the production guy. There's tricks they can do.
Tricks? What kind of tricks?
Tricks? I don't know. You saw The Matrix.
The Matrix?
Recently released movie, gotta reference
I don't
it.
jump over, Tesh. I just don't want to look like I'm giving him a Lewinsky.
Oh, wow. First the Bill Clinton joke in Baby Bob, and now this. It's like, wow.
Doesn't matter. You're born into a league and you can't move up.
You're the man who said if you can envision it, you can get it.
I'm envisioning it. I'm not gonna get it.
That's a little funny.
What? What would I say?
You're a professional speaker. Lay a little bob on her.
Hey, water.
Bob, did you know that Maria is thinking of leaving water delivery?
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe trying to get into modeling.
Well, you're certainly in great shape for it. I assume it's from carrying those big jugs around all day. Hi, how are you?
Oh god, I don't like the transition music. That's really annoying. Ba 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 ba.
No. That's not gonna work.
Why? Because she's in a wheelchair?
Of course not. What kind of a person do you think I am?
And once again, another Seinfeld reference, the episode where George and Kramer buy a wheelchair that's faulty and then sell it back to a woman who needed it, and then she went downhill in it.
So I thought we could invigorate the La Jolla presentation by coming up with a gimmick.
No.
Bob, the trend today is gimmicks. Tony Robbins with the fire walking, Robert Bly with the drumming.
It's funny that they reference Tony Robbins because then that just makes me think of Shallow Hal, which had Jason Alexander as well as Tony Robbins. Pretty underrated movie. I actually really like that movie. I really like Shallow Hal. It's not one of the best Fairley Brothers movies, but it's charming and cute and sweet and pretty funny.
Think I'm over Janet.
God, I'm really hating that transition jingle. It's not as annoying as the Ferris Bueller sitcom one, but it's pretty bad.
Bob?
Janet?
I just can't wait to see these two get together. I mean, you know, they're divorced, but like they probably still have feelings for each other. I just can't wait to see how the season finale comes in where they kiss awkwardly and then maybe that spawns into something next season. I think the issue with it is like the character pretty much is just no different than George Costanza. I mean, yeah, he has a better job. At least compared to George in like the first few seasons. You know, eventually he got his job at the New York Yankees, which was good, but like, you know, here, this guy has a well-paying job, and, you know, people seem to respect him, but, you know, he's still just that same neurotic. I mean, the only other character that Jason Alexander played that I thought had that kind of appeal that worked, that actually was different enough from George Costanza, was Duckman. Like, Duckman was basically, you know, a comedian who was very neurotic and kind of egocentric, and it worked because the way that show was written. Here, it just feels like, you know, oh, well, it worked with George Costanza, so we'll just basically take a lot of those traits, but, you know, just give him a different name, take away his glasses and his thick New York accent, and it's basically a new character, right? Oh my god! Babu Bhatt! Again! More Seinfeld connections! What the hell?
Mr. Patterson!
Uh-oh, here comes some Three's Company style wacky misunderstanding.
Maria, I'm not... Howie! Your brother took these?
That's a little awkward, don't you think?
Bob, I got Connie on the phone.
Oh my God! Are you John Tesh?
Yes, I am.
John, Maria has a very important decision to make about her modeling career. I think you could help. Show him the pictures.
Wowee.
Yeah, that's what I said. Her brother took those, John.
Don't keep reiterating that. That's really weird.
I fell in love with Bob Patterson, this sweet little man who sold big screen TVs, and I watched as you blossomed into Bob Patterson. And I listened as Bob Patterson motivated...
But then I realized that I was really in love with George Costanza.
And found myself, so I left, but everywhere I went, I wasn't there. So I came back here because I thought that maybe Bob Patterson might help me. But Bob Patterson is also...
Just keep saying Bob Patterson in a funny way, and that's automatically funny, I guess.
Let me disrupt
the Bob Patterson!
From Bob Patterson!
From Bob Patterson!
You're going in and out. Call 911. Video sales are through the roof. The telephone is ringing off the hook. Seminars, interviews. Regis wants you. Regis!
Regis and Kathy Lee.
I have an itch on my right
You know, if there was a
cheek.
I'm sorry, I know, Seinfeld references, but it's hard not to with these shows. They really do feel like just Seinfeld leftovers.
To the right. Lower.
Oh, harder. Harder. Oh, that's good.
Oh, my God!
Well, just like the Michael Richards show, it ends on an awkward sex gag. I feel I need to point out the little timer in the corner. That's supposed to be like a gimmick of the show, that you're supposed to see the whole 24 hours or so of this person's life. I think Hats Off Entertainment in his review basically summed it up as, it's just another show about nothing, except it's less competent than Seinfeld.
Darling, what do you mean?
Oh my god, channeling your inner Rarity there, Elaine.
But Stephen can still come.
Well, that's something. He'll be there with his mistress.
Ow! Oh,
Ellie?
man.
Yeah, I just stuck myself in the eye.
Can you imagine Stephen?
The biggest concern I have with these just first few minutes is that this is going to be a really boring show. Like, at least the other two were trying to have stuff happen in them. I really hope that the worst thing this isn't is boring. Because as of the last few videos I've done, I think I'm starting to realize that boring is the worst thing a piece of entertainment can be.
Shoulder, kind of baba-baboomy-ish. I think it's lycra. Yeah, it's lycra.
Little Baba Babooey-ish, what'd she say?
Really? Oh, good. Oh,
Brad Hall. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's Julia Louis-Dreyfus's husband in real life. Like, they were on SNL for a while. I think they were in Troll 1 together. Yeah, so I think they do a lot of projects together, so I'm not surprised to see his name here.
oh my God. My toilet is overflowing.
Oh, no, I hate that.
Yeah, I know.
I love that line reading. Oh my god, I hate that. It's like, from something as drastic as a toilet overflowing. Oh my god, I hate that. Oh, okay, wow. This really is starting to become like Three's Company sitcom shenanigans right here. Like, this is just like desperate for like, trying to cause situational comedy.
It's out of order again.
No.
Well, I like the smooth jazz soundtrack it had going for a while. That was nice. It's also interesting to note that this show, out of the three, doesn't have a laugh track, which I don't know if that's better or worse, because with laugh tracks, there's always that notion of like, well, we don't know if the audience will find this funny, so we'll just give them an instant cue to try and tell them what's supposed to be a joke. It's like, oh, they're laughing, so automatically you're supposed to laugh along with it. And sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Sometimes when sitcoms don't have laugh tracks, it makes it 10 times creepier.
Just look at her over there. She just started and she gets to put up staff pics. I've been coming here over 10 years. I still can't put up Sheldon dislikes.
I talked to her yesterday. She really seems to know her stuff.
Challenge accepted.
That is not what that was.
Oh my god, that was so badly edited. Also, that was really flooding up. Did you see how high that water was? Is this going to be the whole episode? Her trying to get ready while also getting other characters in her building to try and help? I can't say that that's not creative, because it is kind of a unique way to introduce us to the cast. It's at least kind of creative story-wise in terms of its structure compared to the other ones. The other ones were just like, here's the cast of characters. Oh, hey, character we've known all this time, but we're introducing to the audience. This is at least trying to do something kind of unique. Even if it's really awkward like that was.
Hang on, all right then. You know what? Just to be safe, I'll sneak him over to the clinic for a CAT scan.
Oh, good idea. Good.
Actually, it's a CAT scan, but it should work on humans too.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding?
No, same machine.
Now I'm just reimagining this show if it did have a laugh track. Like, they would have totally, like, ramped it up on that one. A CAT scan! Oh! Whoa.
CTV.
Oh. Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, why did we pause? Oh, so that's the thing? They just pause and then do a fade in or fade out for the commercial breaks? Huh. Interesting editing choice. Yeah, and smooth jazz is probably the best thing in this show. It's way better than the transition music in Bob Patterson. Oh my god! I knew he was in the show, but I didn't know he was introduced this early. That is freaking Steve Carell. I think that it was mentioned in the Hats Off Entertainment review. I believe, yeah, Steve Carell's a recurring character. I think he's supposed to be like the pseudo wannabe love interest character, or like he likes her but she doesn't like him that way. Something like that. I don't know. I just remember hearing that Carell was in the show, but I didn't know he was introduced in the first episode.
You are a horse's ass.
Hey, you're the one that went out with me for 6 months.
Yeah, and I've been asking myself, how in the hell did that happen?
Well, must have been something about me.
There must have been.
Are you trying to get back together with me?
Please, just get off of this. This is getting really annoying and awkward. It's just now dawning on me. This whole plot, you know, this guy's like a musician or whatever. This is already another Seinfeld plot. There's an episode where Elaine falls in love with a guy who's in a band, and they have sex before he has to go on and perform, and it's kind of like that, except that one wasn't even like that great of a side plot in the episode, and yet it was still more structured than this is. Like, this was just kind of a rambling episode. And I know, like, out of the three of them, it was probably the best one, just because it had a kind of interesting structure to it. But it still feels weird because it's trying to juggle, like, having this plot at the end of the episode, whereas we didn't have much build-up to who this guy was before this point. Like, if you took out the attempts of being funny, this would be more of like a kind of more character study type show. Not really a drama, but like a show where you're supposed to be interested in what the characters are doing. I guess you could say slice of life. But it's, man, yeah, it's kind of a curveball from the other two things we just witnessed before this. There we go. Clock ran out. Alright. And that's that.
Tomorrow, The West Wing returns. An episode you won't want to miss.
And now we're getting an ad for The West Wing. God, that goes to show how old this was.
One episode.
Alright, we're done. Overall, it was hard to say what was the best of those. I mean, the first two, The Michael Richards Show and Bob Patterson, they were just kind of your average garden variety sitcoms. I think that's what a lot of people ended up liking about Seinfeld, was that to them it wasn't just a typical sitcom. Like, yeah, it was formatted like one, but it had its own voice, its own uniqueness. It wasn't just the same kind of tropey crap that a lot of people came to expect. This, on the other hand, like, they just kind of fall into the trappings, even down to like how they introduce other characters. Like, I noticed this trend with other sitcoms where it's like, you know, oh, it's the first episode, but we got to introduce all the side characters, and so there's this, like, roll call, if you will, where it's just, like, everyone floods on in, and it's like, oh, this is what they do, this is their personality, okay, you got that, good, now we're going back to the plot. The Michael Richards Show, I guess, tried to utilize his slapstick sometimes, like, there was shenanigans of him jittering around and stuff. But really, that's about it. Like, they didn't really use him all that well. He didn't really do anything new. I mean, he wasn't just playing Kramer again, but he wasn't really doing anything, like, to really stand out too well in this. And, I mean, some of the twists and turns I wasn't expecting, but I kind of knew. It's like, all right, well, it's going to end in some kind of wah-wah gag. And, you know, oh, it ends with the one guy like that one subplot ends with that one guy no longer being angry at the other guy, but the other guy is angry at him, and so they're kind of back to where they started. Oh, Bob Patterson, on the other hand, I mean, it was pretty much just him playing a variation of George Costanza. That's it. Like, he's not as neurotic as George, but he still has that self-defeating attitude, and, you know, he just can't seem to get his life in order, despite the fact he has some good things going for him. I don't know. It just pretty much was just a variation of the George character again, with a couple things that were different. And I do like the fact that Jason Alexander was able to take that and do something with that character, because that's not a terrible idea. A self-help guru who's not really that smart and doesn't really follow his own advice. It's not a bad idea. It's just that the show itself, at least going off this first episode, you know, it just had a lot of the same kind of tropes, even down to the, you know, love interest. Will he get back with his ex-wife? Just watch the rest of the series and you'll find out, as if you care. And Watching Ellie, I would say, was the most ambitious out of the three. I mean, it wasn't just a straight-laced comedy. It tried doing some things different. I didn't really think a lot of it was funny, but I did appreciate that it was at least trying to do something different, instead of just being another, you know, 4-camera sitcom. Although, from what I can tell, the second season changed that, because I think they dropped the whole counter thing at the bottom, and they just went about that whole, you know, typical sitcom format, like the Chuck Lorre sitcoms and stuff like that. I think they even adopted a laugh track in the second season, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not entirely sure. I think I chuckled at least twice in Bob Patterson, so I think automatically I would give that one the win, compared to Michael Richards' show, where I don't think I laughed a lot at anything. I think the most consistent laughs I got through any of these three shows was just constantly reminding myself of Seinfeld. Because if you're a Seinfeld fan and you've watched Seinfeld as much as I have, there are things in these shows that just made me jump back to other similar situations that were in actual Seinfeld episodes. So, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of other shows that came after this for some of these people, but I feel like this covers enough for one video. So as for what to expect next time on Media Wiz, I'm going to be doing a review of a Chuck E. Cheese special that I believe was on VHS. We're finally going back to Chuck E. Cheese. You know, it's been a long time coming. Haven't done anything Chuck E. Cheese related in a very long time. You know, did the Chuck E. Cheese Christmas special, and then the Wii game, and now we're finally going back with this weird space-themed special. I'm not going to spoil too much about it yet, but look forward to that when I eventually review it. Until then, guys, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough.